Are you looking for English-speaking countries in Latin America? Many expat retirees are looking for English-speaking countries to retire to. We talk about English-speaking countries in Latin America in this video. Guyana, a country on South America's North Atlantic coast, is defined by its dense rainforest. English-speaking, with cricket and calypso music, it's culturally connected to the Caribbean region. Thanks to its tropical climate, Guyana is treated to high temperatures and bright sunshine almost all year round. The country can experience high humidity at times, but cool Caribbean sea breezes are a welcome refreshment. Situated outside of the hurricane zone, Guyana is safer than other Caribbean nations. With a breathtaking natural landscape and a colorful capital city, brimming with nightlife, shopping, and dining opportunities, there is an idyllic life in Guyana, suitable for every kind of expat. Cost of living in Guyana is, on average, 23.34% lower than in the United States. You can rent an one-bedroom apartment for $180 a month, outside city center. Utilities and internet cost $140 a month. The minimum cost of living for a single expat is $800 a month in Guyana as of February 2022. Jamaica is an island country situated in the Caribbean Sea. Jamaica has a lush topography of mountains, rainforests and reef-lined beaches. Jamaica is famed as the birthplace of reggae music, and its capital Kingston is home to the Bob Marley Museum, dedicated to the famous singer. Cost of living in Jamaica is relatively low compared to other Caribbean countries. One-bedroom apartment costs $280 a month, outside city center. Utilities and internet cost $100 a month. A single expat can live well on $900 a month. The island of Grenada is the southernmost island in the Antilles archipelago, bordering the eastern Caribbean Sea and western Atlantic Ocean. Grenada, and its sister islands Curacao and Petite Martinique, are three fantastic Caribbean islands, filled with peace and tranquility. Less well known than other mainstream Caribbean islands, they offer retirees an affordable and great quality of life. The warmth of the local population, as well as the expanding expat community, will make you feel at home in no time. The cost of living in Grenada is relatively affordable, and cheaper than in the UK and the USA. In Grenada's local markets and grocery stores, you can find locally produced food at low prices, such as fresh white bread, white rice, local cheese, delicious fresh tropical fruits, and vegetables. You can rent a one-bedroom apartment in the city center for $400. Outside the city center, prices are cheaper, and you can find a one-bedroom apartment for $340. Utilities and internet cost $120 a month. A single expat can live well on $1,000 a month. St. Kitts and Nevis is a dual-island nation, situated between the Atlantic Ocean and Caribbean Sea. It's known for cloud-shrouded mountains and beaches. St. Kitts and Nevis were among the first islands in the Caribbean to be colonized by Europeans. The country is still largely untouched and uniquely charming, perhaps making it the ideal Caribbean location for a more permanent stay. Due to its relatively low influx of tourists, the islands of St. Kitts and Nevis are cheaper than most other locations in the Caribbean. The general expenses are approximately 50% lower than the rest of the Caribbean destinations. You can rent a one-bedroom apartment in the city center for $600 and outside the city center for $400. Utilities and internet cost $210 a month. A single expat can live well on $1,160 a month. Trinidad and Tobago is a dual-island Caribbean nation, near Venezuela. Trinidad is the larger, and more populous, of the two major islands, of Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago is a developed country, currently with the third highest GDP per capita, in North and South America. The World Bank recognizes its economy as a high-income one, ranked just after the United States and Canada. A single-person estimated monthly costs are $1,200. You can rent an one-bedroom apartment for $400 a month outside city center. Utilities and internet cost $80 a month. Trinidad is 41.34% less expensive than New York, without rent. Barbados is an island country in the Lesser Antilles of the West Indies, in the Caribbean region of North America. Barbados is a jewel of the Caribbean. Its turquoise waters and golden beaches are a perfect match to many people's idealized days in the sun that they hope is waiting at the end of their working life. Barbados is the island of dreams for some retirees. Thanks to the prominent U.S. community, as well as an English-speaking citizenry, there's less of a culture shock to shake you up. There is also the gorgeous weather, a location out of most hurricanes' paths, and inviting cuisine, great healthcare, and a low incidence of crime. Barbados's cost of living tends to run a little higher than the U.S.'s, 12.24% higher than the U.S.'s average, without taking into account rent. Although Barbados has a higher cost of living, it has a much lower rent average. In comparison to the U.S., Barbados's rent is generally 48.53% lower. A single-bedroom apartment in a city center costs around $650. A single-bedroom apartment outside city center is around $450 a month. Utilities and internet cost $200 a month. A single expat can live well on $1,550 a month in Barbados. Antigua and Barbuda is a Caribbean nation in the Lesser Antilles island chain. It consists of two major islands, Antigua and Barbuda, separated by 63 kilometers, and smaller islands. English is its official language. Living in Antigua and Barbuda is a good idea for expats looking to enjoy a peaceful and tranquil lifestyle in paradise. Blessed with a wonderful climate, Antigua and Barbuda usually play the part of a romantic getaway for newlywed couples eager to avoid the fuss on some of the more popular Caribbean destinations. Luckily for the lovebirds, the islands of Antigua and Barbuda are named the Land of 365 Beaches. And this title suits them perfectly, since most of the shores of the archipelago are covered with beautiful sandy beaches. The monthly rent for a one-bedroom apartment is around $750 outside city center. Utilities and internet cost around $250 a month. A single expat can live quite well on $1,650 a month in Antigua and Barbuda. Situated in the Caribbean, the Bahamas is a chain of islands in the North Atlantic Ocean, southeast of Florida, northeast of Cuba. English is the official language of the Bahamas. What do Nicolas Cage, Johnny Depp, Oprah Winfrey, Sean Connery, Bill Gates, and Tiger Woods have in common? Apart from being celebrities, they're among the thousands of North Americans and Europeans that have owned second homes in the Bahamas. The islands offer an escape from the daily grind of life, are rich in history, and living in the Bahamas can be lots of fun. Like other expats who live in the Bahamas for all or part of the year, these stars often think of the Bahamas as a paradise, an upscale group of islands with some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. The Bahamas are friendly to newcomers, there's no foreign language to cope with, crime is relatively low, and the islands are positioned just off the Florida coast. Living in this part of the world can be pretty costly, to say the least. While the rent and transportation prices are similar to those in the United States, up to $2,000 for a 3-bedroom apartment in the central area, other expenses, such as utilities, leisure, and entertainment, are on the higher scale. A 1-bedroom apartment costs $650 a month outside city center. Basic utilities and internet cost $350 a month. A single expat can live well on $1,800 a month in the Bahamas. Hope you enjoy the video.